basketball fans, welcome to High School Hoops Weekly. I am Rachel George, joined by Tim Hauer. We are out here at Trask Coliseum, final day of the Leon Brogden Holiday Tournament, about to get underway. But we're going to take a look back at last week, the Time Warner Cable Holiday Classic, the Christmas tournament for the girls, and we'll get started with Ashley. Certainly a disappointing tournament for them. Finish in 6th place, lose to Havelock on the first day after being up, then come in and beat Hoggard on the second day, but lose to Laney by 3 on the third day. And this is not what Coach Adrian Gale wants. She clearly has the most experienced team in the county coming back, but not able to finish out those close games like they should have.
Yeah, I think that loss to Havelock really hurt them in the last 2 games. I just didn't see the same fire in them, and I felt like, going into that loser's bracket, if you lose that first day, it's really hard to motivate yourself to come back because the best you can finish is 5th. So winning that first day is huge, and they played really well against Havelock. They just couldn't hold the lead, and they came back and beat Hoggard. Mackenzie Edwards was in foul trouble that whole game, so really you take her out of the equation. Hoggard doesn't have much, and then Laney, they just really couldn't get anything going offensively against Laney. So it was really a disappointing tournament for them.
Well, the 4 county teams all lost on the first day, so that puts them all on the bottom half of the standings. Laney finished 5th, Ashley 6th, Hoggard 7th, New Hanover 8th. What else do you have to report from that couple days of basketball?
The conference, we've talked about this the last few years, how the parity is. I think this year more than ever, all 4 teams can beat anybody else on any given day, and I feel like the conference champion may have 3 or 4 losses this year just because of the way the conference pans out, and everybody's got a little bit back. Hanover's obviously got Morgan King. Hoggard's got Mackenzie Edwards. Laney's got Cabrina Truesdale and a couple other pieces. Like you said, Ashley's got the most, and if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be them. But I don't feel like I'm at liberty to pick a favorite right now because of how close all 4 teams are.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you just mentioned, Danielle Bongiorno for Hoggard goes out for the year with an ACL tear, and for my money, she would have been the best player in this conference had she played this year, but she will miss her senior year. So you've got to think Morgan King is the best player. Don't know how much she has around her, and really, I think you're right. It comes down to Ashley. If they can start playing with a little bit more maturity for their age, they can be a favorite. But right now, it's a toss-up to see who does it. Well, here at the Brogden, some interesting things have happened. I know you talked to Coach Brett Queen about the loss of Stillman White. What happened? What does that mean for the Vikings?
He hurt his knee last week in a tournament out in Myrtle Beach. They were in the championship game, and he injured it early. Brett tried to bring him back late in the game and just really couldn't do anything with it. I know he had an MRI the other day, and I think they were still awaiting the results there, but he's hopeful that he'll be back come the new year. But without him, they're really struggling. They've got Drew Combs, who's their point guard, but Stillman's the go-to player in key situations, and in both of the games that they've lost so far, they've come down to the 4th quarter, and they just need that person to take the ball and just go to the basket or hit a key jump shot. And Lawson Aarons is a good shooter, but I don't think he really has that mentality of, give me the ball, I really want it. So it's really been a disappointing loss for them. I think when he comes back, you'll see a whole new team, though.
Well, and the thing about Stillman, I know he's only a junior, but he started all last year with 4 other seniors. The Vikings lose 9 players total from last year's squad, so they're virtually starting over, and to lose your most experienced player is what hurt you. Yesterday in the second round, the Vikings played Pender, and we said 1A team coming into this tournament, how can they do, even though it's a good 1A team? Addison Spruill deserves a little bit of recognition. He single-handedly outscored the Vikings in the second half of that game. Pender went on to win by 10. He had ended up with 33, but had 24 in the second half, while Hoggard only had 19. So certainly I think Pender has been a pleasant surprise with how well they've done in this tournament so far.
Yeah, and I think everybody knew coming in that they were going to be able to compete with some of these teams. They'd already beaten Laney twice coming into today. They play them again today. So, obviously they can compete with the bigger teams. And with the size that they have at the 1A level, there's not going to be any teams really in the 1A that I think can match that. They've got Keenan Pittman, 6'8", Sproul 6'4". They've got a couple other kids that are over 6 feet tall. So, if they put everything together, definitely another run towards the East Finals and maybe even further for them.
Yeah. We said it at the beginning of the year, if they can get a suitable guard who can score, they'll be all set, so we'll see. Well, the final round is about to get underway today. Hoggard in the 7th place game versus Annapolis Area Christian School. In the 5th place game, we have Laney and Pender. In 3rd place, Ashley New Hanover. And in the championship, we have North Mac and Westover. So we will be back next week, obviously, with highlights of how everything finishes up here. But for this week, for Tim Hauer and myself, Rachel George, this has been High School Hoops Weekly on StarNewsOnline.com.